Mhm.
and I saw racism trending.
Mhm.
I clicked on it. People were like, "Did you hear about that story of the 5 black cops who killed the black kid?"
I saw that. I saw
Yeah,
that actually.
people are
That was
like, "This
crazy.
is yeah." So on Twitter, they're like, "This is because of racism. This is because of white white supremacy."
Oh boy.
It's white supremacy calls those black cops to kill that black kid.
Yeah, no other reason behind that. Yeah, no, totally. They're absolutely right. Identify. Respondents identify. There's a lot of identifications here,
Oh
so
god. Here's an
nobody.
article by CNN. It says, opinion. The police who killed Tyree Nichols were black, but they still might have been driven by racism.
See, a coworker brought that up, talking about if a black person kills a black person, it's not racism. Like you can't be racist towards your own kind if you are that kind.
Well, what they're saying is it's caused by like white supremacy. Like
Mhm.
they're saying white supremacy caused those black cops to kill that black kid.
And that's, I don't know how far away from the truth that is. Like we're in the United States, they're all the way in Antarctica. Like they're too damn far. I'm sorry. Like it's actually insults, like slap to the face. Wait, what? No, it's no. What am I talking about? This is trash. Like who's pumping? Who's saying these things? Like who's really sitting down thinking white supremacy is the sole reason why that took place? Like who's genuinely thinking that? Someone that's
The
probably been
people who
brainwashed.
work at CNN and BuzzFeed.
BuzzFeed. Okay, CNN, BuzzFeed. All right, no one should trust CNN. I'm gonna say that right now. BuzzFeed, same thing. Um, at this point, I'd rather just get my facts from Reddit or some place that really doesn't give a fuck about political agendas. I would recommend getting
I
your
mean, if
source
you
from
go
that,
on like the
honestly.
homepage of Reddit, you're gonna find there's probably gonna be lots of shit like blaming racism on it too, because they love
that's
to call everyone Nazis on Reddit as well.
that's he said, "Oh, Nazis." Oh shit! It's just a troll playground at this point.
I
Troll
mean, remember
playground.
Reddit's where all those like weird cuck stories come from. Like
Yeah,
those people are not mentally sound.
very questionable motives. Very questionable. But that's that's actually tiresome. Like I'm getting to the point where like you hear this shit on the news and you hear the reason behind it, and you start to get angry. Like this is some things that you can just tune out and it won't, and you don't bat eye. And there's just some things that you just want to just punch them in the face. It's like, and that's one of them. Fucking racism. That's crazy. If that's the case, that's like the that Lunar New Year shootout where like 11 Asian slash
Oh
Asian
yeah,
American
yeah,
people. It's the
yeah.
same principles.
It was
Like
like
what?
it was like 3 different dudes 3 days in a row, like 3 different mass shootings 3 days in a row. All of them were old Asian dudes, and they're like,
Expl-
"This is this. We need to stop. We need to stop the violence against Asian. We need to stop racism against the Asian people." And it's like, but the shooter was Asian.
I explain that. It's something that's going on that they're not telling, and it is what it is. But
There, hold on, because there was like a politician or something who said that on Twitter,
yeah,
and like I, I responded to them. I think their tweet is still up. Let me see if I can find it.
I responded to them.
Yeah, I was like, have you seen the shooter? Have you seen what they
Yeah,
look like?
yeah.
I mean, I
There's
don't think they ever
something.
responded to me, but I think their tweet is still up. So like days later, when we have all the facts, like they still haven't deleted their tweet.
Talk about facts. I mean, I don't even know what that word means anymore. If you really think about it, what does the word fact mean?
Right.
If it's being controlled by people that can determine what's fact and what isn't. Black people killing black people, and Asian people killing Asian people.
Okay,
White
so
people kill white people.
as
Crazy.
I'm as I'm scrolling through my tweets to find this one I just mentioned, I found another one. It's a screenshot from Reddit.
Yeah.
Um, it's from the male to female trans subreddit. So the post
Okay.
says, I want to kill myself, but I don't want to contribute to transphobic statistics. How can I make it look like an accident?
You accidentally offed yourself. Okay. That's what?
Because like the trans suicide rate is like last year it was like 41 and now it's like 42. It's like it's constantly going up. So yeah. So it continues. Hey girls, so I've already decided. Don't try to talk me out of it. I'm gonna do it. Oh, this person's grammar is very. I'm gonna do it. I will never pass, and dilating is so exhausting. And so I just want to know how can I do it in a way that won't be suspicious at all. I don't want to hurt the rest of you all by making it look like trans people commit suicide at a higher rate because we don't.
Like, do you understand what that? He didn't understand what he was typing. Honestly, that's. Yeah, I can't even laugh at that. You can't, because it's sad. It's sad that that kid was brainwashed. That she was brainwashed to thinking one way, and
Like, oh, I'll just
no
cut my
one was there
junk
to
off and
correct
I'll be
that.
happy.
Nigga,
Like, oh,
like,
I'll cut my junk off and I'm
no.
still not happy.
It's crazy. I'm even worse off now because I realized that everything I was told was a lie, and now I can't. And now I'm different. I mutilated my body because I thought I was for the winning team, and that wasn't the case.
Yep.
Or better yet, I was. Honestly, it's not even the kids. It's not even their fault. It's the parents' fault. It's everyone that's of
Yep.
age that should know better's fault. It's their fault. It's not
Parents, the school, and everyone else influencing them.
the fudge. Like, come on. Come on. Even the people that were, their grandparents wouldn't even tolerate that. They didn't even tolerate different skin colors. So why would they try to enforce this type of bullshit to happen? Like, come on. Like, it makes sense. Even though it may have, dealt with different reasons, but the fudge, like, no, no. If that was the case, you might as well. That's what they should have done. They should have forced every black person to be white, and I mean skin color wise. Like, I know that for a fact that they did bleach some people's skins, but they should have went full force the same way they did with this, but they didn't. And you want to know and why do you think that is?
Um, why they don't force black people to be white?
Well, no, I'm saying like, well, yeah, in terms of skin color, or whatever. Like the same way that they're trying to push people to be transgenders and go for the surgery, they're not. I don't think they're putting the same effort as back then when it came to making black people white.
I mean,
Like
could they do that back then?
they no, they have done that before. I know they've done it for a fact. But to the fact that they've been pushing it for years like this to this degree where it's literally a fucking virus, you can't compare.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think those are two different kind of priorities. I mean, like bleaching someone's skin or however the hell you do it. It's not the same as like pumping
Well,
drugs into someone, messing their head up, and then making them think they need to cut their junk off.
I guess the best way to put it would be that the amount of effort that they're willing to instill their
Yeah.
ideologies. That's what I'm trying to get at. I know what you're saying, but I'm
Yeah.
touching the ideology because again, transgenderism is an ideology.
Yeah. Well,
It's
I
all in
mean,
the mind. That's what I'm addressing.
I think, and I could tie this into what you said about race. I think it comes back to population control, right? Like, what's the easiest way? And
Yeah.
and there's a lot of easy ways these days, but like back in the
Mhm.
day, the easiest way was abortion, which is why Planned Parenthood was started by a racist who who
Crazy.
hated black people. Uh, people don't want to talk about that.
We don't want to talk about that. Crazy. Nah, but
So like a much more peaceful way of doing that now is like, oh, you're you're not what you're not what the doctor said you were. Although trust the science and take the vaccine, whatever. That you can listen to doctors when they say that stuff, but not the doctors
nowadays,
who see you when you're born.
just understand chromosomes and how they work, type of thing. Not
Yeah,
screw
yeah,
that, right?
yeah. Not that we don't
Nah.
trust that science.
Yeah. Clowns.
Yeah.
Clowns.
So you're not what the doctor said you are. You're don't bother waiting until you're 18. Just pump yourself full of hormones and tell your parents that you're actually a girl and you don't need those balls. You're never gonna need them. You're never gonna regret this at any point in your life.
So and they're like, okay. And parents like, are you sure, doctor? He's like, yeah, trust me, I'm a doctor.
Trust me, I'm a
So-
doctor. I make $200K a year. You can trust me.
All right. I'm not doing this because I'm gonna get like some type of back cut or back pay because yeah, totally not gonna get involved with that. Yeah, fuck it.
You can trust me. This operation will cost you $15,000. You can totally trust me.
Yep.
Will that be cash or cash?
Cash for cash. Don't go through credit.
We
Credit's
don't
gonna
do
be
payment
surcharged
plans here.
10%. Yo, payment plan. I can't. But again, all jokes aside, you kind of see how idiotic this whole thing is. Going on year 3 of this, right? Is it year 3?
Yeah. I mean,
Year 3, right?
if 2020 is the first year, this
Yep.
we technically finished 3 years, so
Insane.
we're starting the 4th.
4 years of this shit. I feel bad for the generation after us and the generation after that generation. If there ever is going to be a generation after that generation, I don't even know at this point.
They're just gonna be so brainwashed from the get go. I saw this other tweet. This guy, I guess he thought he was in the right. Somehow he, I don't know, looked pretty young. Trans dude.
Yeah.
Female. I don't know gender.
I'm getting hurt. You hear that, people? The whole brain's hurting. That's bad.
He was like, he posted this screenshot of a text his mom sent him. I guess he like moved away from home for quite some time. His mom was like, happy birthday. I haven't heard from you in a while. I want you to know I still miss you. I love you and miss you very much, or whatever.
Yeah.
And he just responded, "Oh, I don't care." And he posted that online. He thought that would get him some clout.
You don't care that your birth mother loves you.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I'm guessing because they weren't down with the whole tranny thing, but like they
She
still
went
say
out her
they
way to
love
do it.
you.
Yeah.
So like they obviously didn't disown you. Sounds like you ran away from home.
He was probably on the internet for too damn long, reading too many damn posts telling you what you should do. In reality,
Too many
it's the
tranny
exact
friends
opposite.
online.
And half of them could have been trolling, but you wouldn't know any better because they're over the internet. You dummy.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. You live and learn. Well, you learn. I don't know about living, according to this.
Oh, I don't even know about learning either.
I'm trying to make it. See how difficult it is to make it positive. See how difficult it is to make stupidity positive.
I don't know if there is any positive.
There's not. There's really not. And I'm trying. I can't even be an advocate for it. I just can't because it just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. So it's like they want to be in seclusion. They listen to people that probably even hasn't even been around them a day in their lives compared to someone that literally like birthed you. Like they pushed your stupid head ass out.
I see it so much online. There's just these communities of people who've known each other for all of 2 seconds and being like, "Oh, we got you, sister. We got you, girlfriend. We like."
No.
You're like, "Oh, you gotta do this. You gotta go and do that. You gotta like." You don't know anything about this person, what they've been through, their personal circumstance.
All right.
And even if they are telling you anything, how do you know that's the truth? I mean, they're already fucked up on hormones. Like
Exactly.
their brain, like they're still developing. Their brain isn't all the way there.
Developing. I think their brain's being destroyed. I'm sorry.
Well, they're supposed to be developing, but
Nah.
Nah. But
I know
they're blocking their own development.
Literally, the brain's trying to do its job, and you're saying nah. Like, come on, dog. Come on, dog. Make it make sense. I mean, I feel bad. I mean, imagine like all the people. Some of these people that died really could have changed the world for the better, but we'll never know because they were brainwashed at an early age. They needed that type of protection, and y'all failed them. So it's like it hurts. Can't even can't trust society to raise a child anymore unless it's, I mean, because society itself is being ran by the government, basically ran by all these damn propaganda shit. It's not
And all these
cool.
people, they think like they're the rebel. You know, they think they're like the resistance. They're like, oh, look at me, I'm such a cool rebel. I'm the resistance. I'm the minority. But like, all they're doing is just doing what the media and the corporations are telling them to do. Like,
Puppeteers, yeah.
yeah,
It's like, yeah, oh no, you say okay, yeah. Like I'm guaranteed the government is what's the word I'm thinking of? Shifting through all the tweets and whatnot, and just handpicking people that are like more fucked up than the last, and be like, this is the most fucked up person that we could benefit from. And
yeah,
then they're gonna befriend them, tell them like, oh, do this, that, and the third. We'll put the camera on you, become famous, yada yada yada. You're one of a kind. You'll be like the next this person or that person. One thing that's next is them being in the early grade. That's the only thing that they're really doing right now. It's kind of fucked up, But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. We just need a. I honestly, I need a better coping mechanism because this shit is just painful to talk about.
yeah,
Like I come in one mood talking about this shit, and like literally 10 minutes, my brain's like, just stop talking about this shit because this is not doing you any good, and it's absolutely right.
yeah.
Because I can't keep repeating myself, but it's. I mean, that's all we could really do, even for a small podcast, is keep beating the dead horse and hoping that like it can like rise up again and start moving. But we know it's not gonna happen. We don't got that type of power, that prowess. Shit. But it's fun. Transgender people want to be by themselves. If you don't want to be supported by people that gave birth to you, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, honestly.
It's like you're going
I
out of your way to be miserable, and then you're gloating about it.
right, and then when you don't either get the notoriety from it or whatever the case may be, or you can't deal with the hormones by yourself because you already X'd off everyone that was trying to help you to begin with, you're forced to then, commit seppuku. And then it's like, damn, there goes another statistic. But you don't want to be a statistic. So which do you care about more? You know what I'm saying? Do you care about more being a statistic or you care about, your family and well being? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Which is it? You can't have both. You can't fucking have both. It's stupid. But for the people that probably realize later on or they didn't have a choice, I'm now that's a different subset of population. I'm not trying to tie everyone together. I'm talking about the people that actually didn't that had a support system, but the support system failed them versus
Yeah,
I guess someone that was forced to do it. I guess
yeah,
right.
and
Well,
that,
I'm trying to word it better than
yeah,
I'm actually saying people.
yeah. I think I know what you mean, and that's like, that's tragic in its own right, and
Yeah,
but but that's how bad it is that like you could still have that support and get brainwashed and taken away. So like
yeah.
for the people who don't have that support, it's it's really sad.
I could never imagine that, nor do I wish it upon
Yeah,
anyone. Because honestly, I don't know. I mean, that's
yeah. Because
it's
if
on
you if
part.
you can't
Yeah.
if you can't help someone, who has that support, like how do you help someone who just never had any kind
Right.
of good in their life,
Exactly. And unfortunately, I mean, I feel like that's more of an accurate statistic. I mean, that kind of, I mean, it's kind of fucked up how society or people behave based off of what they see another person go through and what the outcome of that said person uh has, and they trying to translate it to them duplicating that so that way they can be on the same playing field. It's like people want to stand out, whether it's good or bad for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to stand out because of a good thing, I mean that's obviously great because you did something good. But if you want to stand out because someone else did it and they're getting notoriety or they're getting TV time or endorsements or whatever you want to call it, or they're leading movements X, Y, and Z, but they had to pay a heavy toll. I mean, you shouldn't think in your mind like, hey, I should be able to do that too. I'm like, no, that's not the case. It's not the case.
And that's like another like kind of contradiction there is like they think they're gonna stand out, but you're just following a trend. You're following a fad, you know?
Right.
Like you think you're so unique and special for doing this thing that like everyone else your age is doing.
That's not the case. You're not unique if the statistic is literally like one in two of you are gonna die. How's that being unique?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you're unique, then it'll be like what 1 in probably 10,000. It'll be an exorbitant, like a big ass number, but not 1 in 2. You're not unique. As soon as someone hears you say like you're trans or whatever, we're already programmed to think like you have a very short lifespan. There's nothing unique about you. I mean, I actually technically that is being unique. You have a very short lifespan. You just cut your lifespan down to half, probably even a bigger number because you said that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like if someone says that to me, like the first thing in my head is like, oh wow, how unhappy is this person? How messed up have they been?
There's nothing positive that's coming from that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing. It's always gonna be negatives. It's like, damn, this guy or girl is fucked up. I feel bad for her. She's gonna need every help that she can get. You know.
Yep.
But the back of my head is like talking to someone or trying to get a person of that caliber to understand. It's I don't know. I don't
And
know.
yeah, and even then, like, because like I've seen another subreddit for people who realize that it was a mistake and they detransition, but like
That's fine.
they're all
Yeah.
like, oh well, the damage has been there's still permanent damage that's been done, and you can never really do anything about that.
Right. Right. So I mean, you got even people that go along with this and then tell you like it's still a bad idea. Yeah, the people that were raised right telling you it's a bad idea. You got people that are on the same team as you telling you it's a bad idea. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. At that point, you just base it on your sheer ignorance or your sheer your mentality, which is already fucked up by the chemical imbalances that you keep putting into your body to achieve a certain goal or body that you feel like again you feel not based off of facts you are, and
Yep.
that's exactly how life. That's exactly what's gonna happen in life. You know, if you keep going on throughout life with only feelings and no facts, you're not gonna go far. You're not.
Yep.
And honestly, some of the people that passed away, I mean, I want to be a nice guy and say like we probably missed on some really good people, good potential people that could have changed other people's lives for the better. But again, you know, big
Yep.
pharma and all of them got to them. You know, crazy. Government got to them. Propaganda got to them. It took them out. You know, causing this unnecessary divide between us. That's literally what it is. And we were stupid enough. Not we, like me, and Mr. Host over here. We know what we're talking about. Like we understand. We understand not to be brainwashed by that type of BS. I mean, not to. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there's probably other stuff that they brainwash us to do
Yeah.
as well, but it's never to the extent where we want to take our lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like it's nothing. It's not extreme.
we're actively looking out for ourselves, if that makes sense. We're trying not to fall into every single trap that's laid out for us, like so many people
Exactly.
are.
Yes. Exactly. Like we analyze. We're very critical about how certain people like become noticed or become a blip on the map, on the world map. Like, oh, this person's famous for doing this, or this person did this because yada yada yada, and then all of a sudden the next day, like they went viral type of thing. Like we will critically analyze why you're in the position that you're in, or why you have that type of media talk.
Yep.
But some people just don't care. They'd be like, oh my gosh, this the news anchor said, oh, this guy got famous for doing X, Y, and Z. But you're not really asking yourself why he did that or how he did that, or like why is it this specific individual at this place
Yeah.
at this time at this like you're not really critically thinking about
Yeah.
it, and that's
A
what they
lot of
don't want.
a lot of people will just see an authority figure and be like, "Oh, well, he's on CNN. He has this show. He has X subscribers. He has,
X, Y, and
uh,
Z.
he gets his own segment on this thing where nobody else gets their own segment, so he must know what he's talking about."
No, he literally probably got hit in the back door, and the back door rewarded him with that type of notoriety, that status. And yes, what I said is cryptid. So for people that know what I mean by that, you know what I mean. He got hit in the back door, or they probably did some type of shit that was like on a hush hush from the world because they need that type of person to be underneath their fingertips just in case they need them to push out a certain agenda, and you can't say no to it. But it's it's just going at an alarming rate, honestly. Like I personally feel like I can't have these types of conversations with our generation because they don't really talk about it like that.
Yeah.
say I gotta talk to adults. I have to talk to. When I mean by adults, I mean people that are like probably 20 years or probably a different generation. That's the best way to put it. Like the older generation. I
Relative
have to talk to
boomers, like relative
relative
boomers
boomers,
to
yes,
us.
because they would understand it more. We relate more to older boomers than people that are like 5, 10 years younger than us. Like that's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Because like even in our generation, you have people in our generation who are
Yeah.
trying their hardest to be like Zoomers. They're trying their hardest to stay young, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
they're always trying to like fit in with like the newer and newer generations.
Right. But they don't know later on that they're gonna be the ones that's gonna be in charge of this world and
Yeah.
start the way that they're doing. They're not gonna shit. They ain't gonna do shit.
I ain't gonna do it.
Not a damn thing.
If everybody quits their job, ain't no one gonna be serving food.
Exactly. Send the whole thing into chaos.
Yep.
But then again, if they do that, that also hurt the people that are higher up too, because then they're not making money. Because you don't have people that to do that. So it's like they can't let it get to that extent. They have to do just enough to keep the people, quote unquote, happy and running. Like
Well,
doing a bare
that's why
minimum.
they're pushing AI and robots so hard.
Yeah. Pushing AI robots hard. Okay.
So, you know, because twofold, so that they don't have to worry about us being lazy and you know, like dependent on government handouts. And
Right? Even though that's kind of what they want to begin with. So it's
yeah,
like they're just cutting off their own head, like a
yeah,
hydra or some shit, like a
yeah,
snake.
yeah. That's what I
Stupid.
was gonna say. So like one, so like they don't have to worry about their workforce, you know, dying off, and two, so that we get very comfortable having these, you know, having these robots and AIs do everything for us, so that, you
Right.
know, that we become dependent on the system and the government.
Right. I mean, in a sense, the government's dependent on the system too. So it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, AI is still a dangerous thing to do, to fuck around with. At
Yeah.
this point, we're fucking around with it too much, so we're gonna find out twice as hard.
Yeah.
And and I hope I'm long gone before that shit happens. I hope we're all long gone before that shit happens, honestly. Because I could never imagine waking up, right?
Mhm.
Having some metallic ass robot there with some dish talking to me like a fucking human. And then I go outside and I see robots just cleaning my car or they're doing all the laborious stuff like taking out the trash, repairing windows type of shit, building,
Well,
build
they're not going to
buildings.
be cleaning your car because you're not going to own a car. You're going to be forced to take the neighborhood Uber, and that's going to be self-driven.
The neighborhood Uber.
The
You hear
neighborhood
that,
Uber.
Uber? You hear that? Might be onto some.
They're gonna stop at your house at 7 a.m. precisely every morning. Be like, "Hello, sir. Are you ready for your shift at work?" And you're gonna say no. 5 more minutes, please. And they're going to say, "No, you will get in the car right now, or else you will face certain termination." And then they're
Some
gonna
shit
point a
like that,
laser
right?
gun at you. They're gonna point a laser gun at you.
Like, okay, I'm going. Like, nah, I'm good, chief. I'm good.
And as for the robot, when you wake up, he isn't gonna serve you anything nice. He's gonna say, "Here is your daily slop. You're going to eat it.
Something
This
like
is
that
your
has
serving.
all
Here is your portion size.
original
Consume,
portions.
consume now, or be terminated."
Not too fast. Not too fast. Crazy. Like, and inside that guap or whatever, it's like fucking like nano machines or some shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be shit to sedate you and make you compliant.
Literally. I mean, we already got drugs right now that do that shit. It's
Yep.
kind of scary, but it's like all the way into foreign regions of the world, like in forests and whatnot. It's like I forgot what they call one drug. It was like a mushroom or something like that you eat, and it's like you black out, but you're not. It's like first it's like you see everything as you do right now, and then like in a snap of a finger, it's like you slept and then you woke up with like a second later, but you did like probably 50 things within like 4 or 5 hours. And you have no recollection as to what happened. It's like it's a scary drug. Like that's what I
Yeah.
read too. Like Yeah,
If
some
you do
person
something like that, you need at least like 5 friends around, and like
dead ass, yeah.
might need
Five
to lock you in
friends,
a room or something. I don't know.
dead ass, right? Make sure you went to the bathroom, shit somewhere. Be out. You want to be completely empty because for 5 hours you're not going to know what the fuck happened. Like that's how someone like cleaned their bank account. There was a robber that gave him that type of drug, and it made him so suggestible. Like he emptied out his bank account to this motherfucker, and like he didn't even know who he was or what he looked like or anything of that nature. I'm just like, wow, we had that in nature alone. Like that's scary. I can never imagine that. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to find the everyday that we have now. The game We Happy Few, if you played it or watched it.
Yeah, I've seen some of that.
Yeah, it'd be exactly like that. A dystopia that's being disguised as a utopia. You take a pill. So yeah, I'm gonna basically break down We Happy Few to people that haven't heard of it or watched it or whatever the case may be. Basically, it started off with the guy as a typewriter. He worked for some newspaper company. What a surprise, right? Um, basically, he was like every time, I think it was like every 3 or 4 o'clock on the dot, like he has to take his happy pill, quote unquote, which allows him to be productive and always be jolly and just see the world in a different light. Basically, it's psychedelics but on steroids, minus the side effects of I guess throwing up or doing some crazy shit. So like everything is just saturated with like the colors and everything. You just feel very euphoric, to put it at least. But he questioned it and decided not to take it. And then as time went on throughout the story, he started to see the world that he was living in wasn't really the truth. And the people that were on the drug would spot you immediately and call the police to apprehend you and force you to take the drug so you can be compliant. That's basically the gist of it, with the exception of him actually escaping. And I think there was like 3 series behind that. There was a man, a woman, and I think there's a child involved. I forgot. I could be wrong about the last one, but I know there was a couple people that were in the same situation as that. So who's to say that the government isn't trying to do that as well? Imagine that. Imagine you eat a food and it saturates your whole life, where you see everything is just the best.
Yeah,
Like if you see like a tire that's flat, like when you take the drug, you just see like the tire's full of air all of a sudden, like you're just full of happiness. Like it just alters the way that you perceive reality. And you have to take that drug on the regular to maintain that type of euphoric essence. And that can't be good for your brain, because then once you don't take it, it's like an extreme crash, extreme depression, suicide, all this other stuff. And it creates that chemical dependency because the brain doesn't know how to operate without it. And it goes it's very messy, to put it the least. That's the best way to put it. Now, again,
kind of like the movie Equilibrium. I don't know if I showed that one to you, but it's kind of similar where everyone is forced to take these injections like 3 times a day. That basically suppresses all emotion, and if you show any emotion, you get arrested.
oh my gosh, look at you're taking away the one thing that makes us human. Really, that's crazy. Fucking emotions.
Yeah. If you own any books, any art, any music, anything like that, you get arrested. They raid your house and you
Wow,
get arrested.
3 days, three times. You said 3 times a what a day?
Yeah, 3 times a day. It's like a little shot they take in the neck.
That must be a terrible drug then. If you have to take 3 a day, that's shit. You might as well just not even apply the force if you can't even maintain it for a good 24 hours. I'm sorry. You got medication that can do that. You can't do that for emotions. Some bullshit. Like, I don't understand. Again, I mean, I guess to bring it back to what we were talking about before, this, it's like they're really fucking with their minds one way or another, and it's up to us to really start to look out for ourselves and our neighbors, and our loved
Yeah.
ones. Because the society that that your parents and your great grandparents were brought up is no longer a thing. It's just
Yeah.
not. It was just an elaborate ruse for what's to come or what's beginning right now,
Yeah.
and
If you don't have the ability to affect things on a large scale, like many of us don't, the best you can do is just try and help your own community.
right. And even if some people may be like that's not doing enough, Well, think about it. There's 340 million people in the United States. Say that, you go to your local shelter, your local community, and you tell like one person, right? One became two. That person probably knows a couple other people, and it multiplies. So it may not be instant change, but with enough people, and that the
Yeah,
least notice, the people behind it, the government knows this. Like we outnumber them drastically. So
yeah. Planting seeds, as I call it, is important because
yes,
that's basically what they're doing too with the government. They're when everything they do when it comes to propaganda, all it is
yeah.
planting seeds, so they can, you know, they can activate, or accelerate things, and uh, 10 years ago, like no one took this tranny stuff that seriously, but like look how far we've come in just a couple of years.
Surgery. We went from laughing at someone to like a knife. Someone literally got a knife in their body to alter their
Yep.
own body. They mutilated themselves like a carcass. I'm sorry, you're not some type of piece of meat at the deli. Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah,
The fudge. We were supposed to be on the food was on the evolutionary chain. We're supposed to be top notch, and we're doing stupid shit like this. What's going on? What's going on? I mean, the brain named itself for all. Like, come on,
yeah,
talk to me, talk to me. Like without even knowing it, we knew that our brain was like one of the most important organs to protect. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like we knew that. No one else taught us that. Like if we saw something coming for our head, our instant
yeah.
reaction is what? We block our fucking head. Like, come
That
on.
that's why everyone knows how important a headshot is.
Right? Like think about it. You X them from existence. You X
Yeah,
them from existence, bro. But it's fun. It's fun.